All right, Pisces, let's do a bonus for you guys. This one is based more on the health of yourself and or your relationships with those around you. Whether it's somebody very close to you, a partner, your child, your children, your mom, your dad, your best friends, anything, the relationships with those individuals or particular individuals, strengthening that, making sure that everybody is reciprocating and getting what they need. But what I mainly feel is this is about you. I was actually thinking about doing a romantic message for you guys, but I kept thinking of you. You, which is healthy. That's good. There's nothing wrong with that. I think the other message may come later on. But for now, I want to talk about you guys mostly. Getting yourself where you want to be. This is maybe even getting more physical exercise, whatever that is. Whether that's actually going to a gym, walking at the park, or stretching. Physically just starting to stretch more when you wake up in the morning or when you go throughout the day. Like a good stretch. Have you ever stretched really good? Just a big old stretch and yawn. There's nothing like that. Like it feels really good to let the muscles stretch. Sounds lame, but it's not though. Stretching is actually really important. Dieting. You may be actually changing your diet. These are all things that I've been thinking about doing myself. Like, man, I'm getting a little achy when I wake up. It's been hard for me to kind of knock this cold thing I've got going on. I'm getting older. So it's time to start really focusing on me and taking care of myself. This is you. Especially because I've been sitting in your energy, and so I'm like, there's no coincidence here. This has to be something to do with Pisces as well. So for those of you that this is going to resonate for, cross-watcher or Pisces, definitely a huge emphasis on health here. Getting healthier, being the best version of yourself, whether that's quitting smoking, cutting back, quitting drinking, or cutting back. Even if there are certain individuals around you that you just don't jive with, you don't feel good in their presence when you're around them. Maybe you can't help being around them, maybe you work around them, live around them, I don't know, but this would be about limiting the access they have to you, or when you are around them, kind of making sure you have healthy boundaries here. Also, another thing that could be really good for your health is being around people who do make you feel really good, who, when you're in their energy, when you hang out with these individuals, you feel like you're completely yourself. You don't have to be tense. You don't have to argue or fight. You don't have someone constantly breathing down your neck. It's just, I can be myself. Hobbies. Doing anything that you really like to do. Whatever your hobby is, just making time for that hobby. It could be anything, guys. It could be playing a game, a sport, watching a game or sport, watching movies, making videos, doing art, creating, crafting anything, playing video games. I mean, whatever it is, everybody's got their own type thing that they really like to do. It would be something that kind of gives you a little peace for a moment. You have some you time. That's healthy. That'll actually really help you out a lot. Sleeping, getting more sleep, going to bed a little bit earlier if you can. Some of you are like, man, that's not even possible because I work so much, and maybe I have insomnia, or my bed's uncomfortable, or I have all these aches and pains and I'm always hurting, or I can't shut my head off when I go to sleep. Totally get it. But maybe that's where the diet comes in, will help you out. Maybe it's taking some sort of herb or tincture. Of course, checking with your doctor or physician first, knowing what your body can have and what it can't. Maybe that's listening to certain music or frequencies to fall asleep, listening to a storm or rain, a recording of that. Anything that'll kind of help you when you're actually in a resting mode or position, help you actually rest, where it's not like you're just sleeping, but you're resting while you're sleeping, so that you wake up feeling rejuvenated and ready to kind of take on the day. I would also maybe say here, if you do find that you're working a lot and you have no other option, like you have to, bills have to be paid, food has to be bought, I mean, who's going to do it for you? You have to kind of do it yourself. Definitely, that's when making sure that when you do have time off, you get the good sleep. You do eat as healthy as you possibly can. Maybe less eating out, more cooking at home, more meal prepping. Maybe something to do with that. You can also, in the time that you're off, if you feel like you're nice and rested, that's when you can kind of throw yourself into your hobbies and the things you really like and that you enjoy, just to kind of help here. Because I do feel a lot of stress. The last message I just did for you guys, I could feel the tension, I could feel the stress, and maybe this message is to say, more of an extended for the Pisces or cross watcher, all these things can maybe help you to adapt to your surroundings until the changes occur. If the physical body is well, and if the mind is well, it can help you kind of deal with things better until the change that you're wanting to see starts occurring, starts happening. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, maybe some of you like to go horseback riding. Maybe some of you like to get some sun exposure or something like that. I don't know. Drink more water, add more vegetables or fruits in your diet or something like that. Maybe some of you are going to become vegetarian or vegan if you're not already. Maybe you're going to have a different type of routine where you start like opening the windows every morning. You make your bed. Like changing up little things here and there. Maybe even self-soothing. Like, have you ever massage? Okay, some of you could be getting massages or be thinking about getting massages, Reiki, meditating, yoga, anything like that. Also though, self-massaging is so soothing. Lymphatic drainage massages, doing the drainage massages on yourself feels amazing. Rubbing some castor oil on your belly, salt baths, lighting candles, lighting a candle when you eat dinner can help change your mood, kind of put you in a good state of mind. Another thing that can put you in a good state of mind is if anyone is causing you some stress, which I'm sure you have, we all have that, or just being around specific individuals can be very hard to deal with at times. You may end up getting to where you firmly but politely have to tell some individuals where you stand with them. You know, I'm going to give an example. It's the first thing popping in my head. Let's say you're in a relationship. I know that's not everybody here, but if you are, you may have a partner that is kind of demanding of you, just needing a lot from you, whether you're at work and they're needing a lot from you, or you come home and they need a lot from you. And you're going to get to a place where you're going to realize it's okay to let this person know it's a little much for me right now, and I'm going through a lot. You know, before you get to where you're blowing up, where it's just like, hey, you know, maybe it's children, a child, maybe it's family members, maybe it's a friend, maybe it's less phone time, less screen time, and more reading books, or seeing the backs of your eyelids, just closing your eyes, not necessarily sleeping, but like laying in a hammock, laying on the ground in the grass, or just laying in your bed and chilling, you know, cutting the head off, shutting the head off, shutting the head off, the mind off for a minute. But yeah, going back to other situations here where you may have to tell some people, you may get to where you're like, hey, I'm not going to answer my phone after a certain time because I want to sleep. Or please don't text me while I'm at work so much, or call me while I'm at work so much, or please don't ask me something repeatedly over and over. You can ask me once and I'll get to you when I can get to you. It's something like that. I mean, maybe you'll even stand up to like a customer, and that's for those of you who have to deal with customers. You may be like, hey, you know, I just feel like someone around you is really demanding. Feels demanding. That's the word. And you may need to tell this person, I feel like you'll want to say it lovingly for the majority of you. I feel like it's someone you care about, but if not, you know, you may not say it so lovingly. Just kind of like, hold on a minute, stop, chill, you know. If you're the one that's paying for everything, some of you, it could be a family situation. Like, let's say they're always relying on you. Relying is a big one. Relying on you for something. You may get to a place where you're like, I'm only one person. I can only do so much, and I'm wearing down. I'm wearing down, and I need balance here. I need equal reciprocity, or there's going to need to be some changes here. Now, some of you, this message is probably reversed, but for the majority of you, I feel like this is you. It's about taking care of you in every way, taking more time on you. Even like, what is that called? Mindful eating. Going back to the diet thing here, when you're eating, being mindful about it, eating slower. Eating slower. Going back to the listening to things as you're resting or falling asleep, you can also be listening to videos such as subliminals. Have you ever heard of that? Subliminal videos. Those can be beneficial as well. I definitely see Pisces or cross watcher here more focused on, you know, I really need to take care of myself. I'm under a lot of stress. This is getting to be too much for me and I can't. Now, unless it's yourself doing it to yourself, where it's like, okay, I've got to do something. I'm not always going to be this age forever. I've got to really crack down or be serious about my health. I really need to get a little more physical exercise. I really need to take care of my body more. I need to take more me time. I need to do something that I love to do in the times that I can, because otherwise I'm getting really overwhelmed. And it's too much on me. I mean, it can make you freaking have anxiety. And I picked that up in your last message. It can make you have anxiety. It can really affect your health. It could really, it could put you in the hospital. It could put you out for a few days and then you're not able to work or make money. I know. Trust me. I get it. And sometimes we may not even want to take the break, but we have to, which sucks sometimes, especially if you're like a go getter, or you just have to. Because again, who else is going to do it? You know, some of you handle a lot on your own, very independent. You handle it all. Even if you're in a relationship, for those of you that applies, you know, let's say you have a really demanding partner again, you may get to where you're like, stop. Just stop. You may literally tell them to stop something or chill out, calm down. It could be something about them during this time that gets to you or starts to kind of weigh on you where you're like, enough. I've had enough. Maybe it's their insecurities. Maybe it's what they constantly need from you or want from you, or maybe it's they're constantly nagging or bitching. I don't know, man or woman. And you may be like, It doesn't have to be a partner. That could be anybody doing it. You know, I feel that you've taken on a lot. I feel that your plate is more than full. It's overflowing. And you may have heard the saying, how can anyone pour into others' cups when our own cup is empty? I mean, you could even be a caregiver for some of you. It makes me think of my mom. She's a caregiver. And I tell her all the time, Mom, you've got to take time for you. And she's like, yeah, but how? And I'm like, you have to make the time. Even like everything I'm talking about here in your message would help her as well. Same for me. Same for all of us. Because it's just all about who she takes care of, which would be my grandmother in this case, and she does nothing for herself, and it's killing her. Like, it's wearing her down. I'm not kidding. Like 100% weighing her down. And I'm like, you got to do something. You've got to do something. So she has been slowly but surely, because this isn't like an overnight fix. It isn't just like, oh, it's such an easy little, yeah, that's the answer. No, and it happens over time. You know what I mean? So she cut out sodas at first, and then she got to where she's eating only certain veggies and foods, you know what I mean? And more organic things like that, which it's hard to know what's really organic these days. But getting as close to it as you possibly can. Gardening, growing your own food, your own herbs, making something about tinctures here, making your own tinctures, taking a vitamin. Health, health, health. The health of you, the health of your mind, the health of your body, the health of the relationships with the people around you. Boundaries, balance, rest, rejuvenation, and not forgetting to still get out of the house, get out of the workplace, and when you have that time, aside from resting, have fun. Whatever fun means to you. Sometimes fun is hanging out with friends. Sometimes fun is going shopping. Sometimes fun to people is fishing and working on vehicles, or I don't know, anything, chilling. But this is like whatever is fun to you, whatever helps you decompress. That could be anything. That could be a foot rub, you know? It could be a foot rub. Getting a pedicure, a manicure, getting your hair done, just things like that. So yeah, I hope this message was beneficial. It's less of a bonus and more of an extension, I feel, to the first video we did. I would have loved to do a romantic message for you guys, but I can't. It's like it wouldn't come through. I feel like this is more about you right now, and it should be. You spend a lot of time and energy on everyone else, even at work. And then when you come home, you still do it. And it's like, where's Pisces? Where's Crosswatcher? I feel, when I tap into your energy, I feel more of everyone else than I feel you. That's a problem. That means that it reminds me of a video I saw. I actually posted this video not long ago, I think in an Aries message. It was an Evanescence song, Going Under. And in the video, she jumps into the crowd and she's kind of immersed. And then it shows her like kind of drowning in water and all these jellyfish around her. And you know I love my jellyfish. And I see that again here. I'm getting a vision of that right now. I definitely see that with you. When I tap into your energy, I don't see Pisces or Crosswatcher. I see everyone else surrounding you and you getting lost in it, overcome, overwhelmed by all the things, by all the obligations in life, by everything pulling you this way and that way and this way and that way. And it's like, okay, let me pull you back up. Let's come back to self and let's create this kind of energetic bubble around us to where we're like, all right, let me regroup. Let me get myself back together. I've been drowning in everything and everyone. And it's time for me to take care of me now. You can feel it. You can probably start physically feeling it. If you've been, especially if you've been physically feeling pain or, you know, issues every time you eat or, you know, when you're breathing. That's my case, you know, having the breathing issues and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, I've got to do something. And I see you doing it, which is nice. I see you like kind of, you could call it reclaiming your power. I see you doing it because you love yourself. And that is good because you've been loving everybody else and you've been working so hard because you love your family or because you love your child or your children or for whatever reason, because you have to pay bills, because you have to do things, you have to take care of responsibilities. But we can't forget to love us, you know, and we do often. Selfless. It is good to be selfless, but sometimes it's also good to be selfish, healthy selfishness. There won't be any more me if I don't take care of me, right? That type thing. So, all right, guys, thank you for being here with me, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.